Yes, sir.
You're saying like the lights in the parking lot. If we don't go to work and put them in there in the beginning, we'll have to tear up the parking lot to go to work and get the electric to the spots.
Okay.
Where therefore it would cost more money not to do it than to do it.
We've already decided we'll run all the conduits to the place, which is only a couple $100 per light to run them there. And so we would not have, we've thought that through. We'll not have to rip up parking lot, and it will not cost us additional money. But when we have the money to put up the, another light pole, we would do it. So that's a great question, Bob. Somebody else? Yes, John. Maybe. We're not exactly to the point of that, but certainly because we're a nonprofit organization, that is a possibility. It would take a couple of men to approach an organization like that, and they're very particular, so it's not just a general donation. They're very particular that this kind of plant has to go in this hole, and they come back and they look to make sure that you did what they told you to do. It's all extremely specific, and I'm told that Lady Bird Johnson is responsible for that. And I was not alive at that time, but evidently there was a big thing. She was big into landscaping or whatever, and that's how that developed. Yes?
The landscaping and the trees, would there be a way that we could get a list of what we needed and maybe personally buy the tree in memory or a donation similar to the wall?
We may be able to do that. She's asking, is it possible with a landscape or whatever? But if you see the plan, there are thousands of plants and trees and shrubs. I'm not, I don't, high hundreds. I mean, it's just like blah, 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 blah. It's like all over the place. And they are real plants that have to go in those real holes. So yes, that may be a possibility. Yes?
If them plants die, do you have to replace them?
Yes, we do. They come back a year later and check to see if they're still alive. And if a tree dies, you have to buy a new one. Say that a little bit louder. Because of that, Chuck? All right, great. Chuck is a site work developer, so he would know that. Somebody else? Somebody else? Good questions. Good questions. Yes?
Have you thought about after the building is built, keeping costs down, maybe going with solar power for it?
We've looked into some alternative methods, but they're extremely expensive at the beginning. And our builder has said that to make up the costs would be so humongously long in time that he has recommended away from that. Jack has been really heavy on that, looking into solar power, done research on that. We've looked in that. We even looked at, what is the other thing called? The geothermal heating and things like that, but the costs are so humongous at the beginning. Somebody else? Good questions. Yes?
underground stormwater drainage system. So he is doing all he can to help us find avenues that's going to save money.
Yeah, they're called bioretention basins. And what they are, they just look like a landscaping. You would just think that they're a landscaping island of mulch, but they're not up, they're down, they're inverted, and it catches the water, and pipes go from underneath there deep into the ground. They go into the main system that takes the water off. It's something that is a little cheaper than all the pipes that we once had considered. Now we have small area of all those pipes in the backfield, and a lot of these bioretention basins. The kicker is that you have to buy the county mulch. It's a special kind of mulch. And you have, what is it, 18 months? You have to replace all the mulch. If you want to know what it looks like, the new Holiday Inn on 273 has bioretention basins. And so if you want to drive there and stop by and look, it's up by Avon. That's what it is. All right, somebody else. Yes. Have we started thinking through the plans? Yes, there is a time list of things that will disappear. We know the modular has to disappear. The garages are going to disappear, you know, the ones that are over on that side. We're keeping a couple over here for storage. The office trailer is going to have to disappear. It may be able to be relocated for a little bit, but it's going to, yes. We're trying to work it. It's all phased out of what will happen one after the other. And that will be clear once we start. In fact, we'll put it up for the whole congregation to understand what is going on one after the other. Questions? Yes, ma'am.
Will it come to a vote whether we want to not finish the building or completely finish the building?
Will it come to a vote of whether we not want to or whether we want to? I'm not sure. I'm not sure. We need.
In favor of building it.
Are you?
Yes.
The whole thing
whole
or just
thing.
part of it?
The whole
Did you see Scott Johnson has his hand out in front of you?
He is right now.
All right. All right. I'm not sure, but I will tell you, we'll seek God's wisdom on the whole thing. And I can't promise you whether it be, you know, it's a majority vote kind of thing when it comes down to that point. But we have promised you that we will not enter into a mortgage that is higher than what we can afford to continue regular practices of ministry in this church. And I think that's the most important thing we're committed to concerning the loan, and that will serve us well. But there's a little bit of thinking before that. Yes, somebody back here.
We accept a partially completed building. We're holding meetings in it. The men of the church can go and build just like we did here, classrooms, whatever. Can we get by with a partial driveway?
I don't think so.
Sections and the islands?
No, because your number of spaces that you have to have is based on your square footage of your building, okay? And you can't. We have to build it. Am I right on this, guys? Yes, we have to build all the parking, right, Mr. Rudy? Yeah, we can't build partial. But understand that when you see the plan out on the wall, that's both phases. You know, some of that parking that's going to go on over on the other side of the Sears house is not going to be built at first, because we have to have that for the building that connects these two buildings eventually. So it's a great question, and I wish that they would allow us to determine some of the things, but they can't. There's formulas that determine them. All right, somebody else. Great questions. Good thinking. Yes, Bessie.
If they don't finish the rooms, then we still meet in the areas.
Say that again.
If they don't finish off the rooms, then you still meet in those open areas?
Probably not, because we won't have an occupancy for those. But we could meet in the auditorium, and they would not be the open areas. We would not be able to go into them. You know, you would have exits. You would have everything would be proper, but we would not be able to go into those areas until they are completed and inspected. Okay. So, you know, partial. I mean, there's all kinds of choices that you can make, but generally speaking, we're talking about not a full brick building, but a partial brick building with stucco or drive-it that is very attractive, but that is the brick would be an accent, not a totally bricked building. Okay. The other thing would be partial could be just the auditorium and the lobbies and the bathrooms, and maybe the offices built and all the classrooms not built. So those are the costs we have to weigh. How much does that really save us to not do that? Has been a question, and it saves us. You know, I'll just throw it out, but to not do the classroom saves us about $300,000, Lacey. About $300,000 not to do the classrooms. That may sound like a lot of money, but based on the whole project, that does not sound like very much money at all. Okay, so those are the things that we're weighing, that we need to weigh.
But then we still have this building and all the rooms
We do?
still use until.
Sure. You're right.